Grandma, why do you always have a weird smell? Mom says it's just your scent. That innocent question from my granddaughter, Lily, truly hit home. If you're an older woman, perhaps you felt that lingering, unwelcome scent yourself, despite your best efforts to stay clean. I'm Eleanor, and after decades of working with ladies just like you, I understand this quiet worry. It's heartbreaking, but 99% of women over 60 don't realize they have a distinct odor that others can sense. Even sadder, most families don't dare mention it, so we never truly know. In this video, I'll gently walk you through 7 common hygiene mistakes many of us make. Stay with me until the very end to discover practical, doctor-recommended solutions that will help you feel truly clean, comfortable, and confidently fresh in your golden years. You'll wish you knew these sooner. Point number 1. Ignoring those little leaks, light bladder leakage, LBL. Now, let's talk about something many of us we just dismiss it. Those little leaks, those tiny dribbles that happen when you laugh a little too hard at a friend's joke, or maybe when you sneeze during allergy season, or even when you just move too quickly while carrying groceries. We tell ourselves, oh, it's nothing major, or it's just a fluke today. But here's the thing, even a small amount of urine, a tiny bit, contains ammonia and bacteria. When that little bit dries on your underwear or your pants, it doesn't just vanish into thin air. No, it settles in, creating a warm, damp little spot that is absolutely ideal for bacteria to just flourish. And bacteria, my dears, always bring an odor. Why does this become such a tricky issue as we get a little older? Well, our sense of smell, that wonderful sense that protects us and guides us, can actually become a little less sharp. So, you might not even notice that faint, persistent smell. But I can tell you from years of experience, those around us then can. And that's where the real self-consciousness creeps in, isn't it? You start constantly checking yourself, perhaps pulling at your clothes, or even avoiding getting too close to friends for a hug. It's truly a silent struggle. Doctors, myself included, will always emphasize that even light bladder leakage, no matter how infrequent, is not something we should simply ignore. It's important for our hygiene, yes, but just as crucially, it's about protecting our dignity and our self-confidence. I remember a moment at a family gathering. My sweet daughter-in-law, Sarah, with all the kindness in the world, gently suggested I change my sweater because it smelled like the couch, she said. I was mortified, absolutely mortified. But you know what? It was the wake-up call I needed, the kindest nudge. I'd been letting those little leaks add up, dismissing them, and my clothes were indeed holding onto that telltale scent. But there's good news, really good news. The solution truly is quite simple. Try using moisture-wicking underwear. They're designed specifically for these light leaks. Or use those thin, discreet incontinence liners. They've truly become game changers for so many women I know. They're comfortable, they blend right into your daily routine, and they are not terribly expensive these days. Don't think of this as a sign of weakness or something to be ashamed of. Think of it as a smart, practical step towards managing a common challenge. It's about being proactive. So, please, don't ignore those little leaks any longer. Take action today, and protect your dignity and your peace of mind. If this tip has been an eye-opener for you, please, right now, just comment "fresh" below. Point number 2. Using the wrong soaps, an innocent mistake. For years, I believed that the key to feeling truly fresh and clean was scrubbing my skin with the strongest, most fragrant soap I could find. My bathroom shelf growing up, and even well into my adult years, was like a rainbow of supermarket body washes. Lavender Bliss, Coconut Paradise, Ocean Mist, you name it. My simple logic was, if it smells powerful and leaves my skin squeaky clean, it must be working, right? Oh, my dears, how wrong I was. It took me far too long to realize that those heavily perfumed soaps and body washes were actually making things much worse, especially as I got older. Here's the science behind it, in plain language. These soaps, full of harsh chemicals and artificial fragrances, can strip away your skin's natural protective oils. Think of your skin as having a delicate, natural shield. These soaps can just blast right through it. This leaves your skin irritated, vulnerable, and critically, it can throw off your body's natural pH balance. When that balance is off, especially in sensitive areas, guess what happens? Bacteria, the very culprits of odor, find a perfect environment to thrive. Why does this become even more critical as we age? Because as we get older, our skin changes. It becomes thinner, drier, and much more sensitive, especially in those intimate areas. After menopause, that delicate skin really needs gentle care. Those harsh soaps I once loved were creating constant irritation, making it a losing battle for my skin. I remember standing in front of the mirror, just out of the shower, feeling like I'd scrubbed myself raw, and yet still catching a whiff of a musty scent by lunchtime. It was incredibly humbling to realize my own efforts were actually backfiring. My own doctor, a wonderful woman, had a candid conversation with me that changed everything. She gently explained that our skin, particularly in sensitive areas, needs kindness, not an assault from perfumed soaps. Her advice was simple, almost unbelievably simple. Switch to a mild, unscented soap, or in some cases, just warm water. I was skeptical, I truly was. Warm water? That's it, I thought. But I gave it a try, swapping my Tropical Breeze body wash for a fragrance-free, hypoallergenic cleanser. Within a week, the difference was remarkable. My skin felt calmer, less irritated, and that persistent midday musty smell? It was just gone. I didn't need to freshen up every few hours or douse myself in perfume to mask anything. It was a revelation. Sometimes, the secret to smelling truly clean isn't about adding more scent. It's about removing what's causing the problem in the first place. If you're still reaching for those heavily fragranced soaps, take it from me, less is truly more, and your skin will thank you for it. So, who's ready to try this gentle approach? Comment, gentle, if you are. Point number 3. Forgetting to change liners and pads regularly. Hidden breeding grounds. This one is for all of us who use liners or pads, whether it's for those light bladder leaks, the changes that come with postmenopause, or just for that extra bit of comfort. I used to be guilty of this myself. I'd pop a liner into my underwear in the morning and practically forget about it for the rest of the day. My reasoning? Well, if it didn't feel soaked, it was still good to go, right? Plus, let's be honest, those things aren't exactly cheap, and who wants to go through a whole pack in a week? But here's the crucial part, and the science behind it is pretty clear. Even if a liner or pad feels dry on the surface, it is still absorbing tiny, microscopic amounts of moisture throughout the day. And that warm, moist environment against your skin? That, my dears, is a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. These bacteria multiply, slowly but surely, and they lead to odors that build up gradually, sometimes without us even realizing until it's too late. Why does this become a silent problem? Because the odor builds slowly. You might just notice a faint sour smell by evening, especially on busy days when you're out running errands or enjoying time with friends. It makes you feel self-conscious, doesn't it? You second-guess every hug, every close conversation. You might find yourself checking your clothes, sniffing your jacket, even wondering if your deodorant is failing you. It wasn't until I talked to my doctor that I learned the plain truth. Liners and pads, even if they don't seem full, need to be changed every few hours. This isn't about being wasteful. It's about protecting your skin, preventing irritation, and keeping those odors at bay. Bacteria simply don't care if the liner looks clean. They're thriving in that hidden moisture. I remember wearing the same liner from breakfast right through to bedtime. That was my old habit. But making the switch to a more regular changing routine was a game changer for me. I also discovered reusable, washable liners, which are not only better for my wallet but much gentler on my skin. I started carrying a small pouch with a few extras in my purse so I could change discreetly during the day. The difference, truly, was night and day. That sour scent was gone, and I felt so much fresher and more confident, from morning till night. If you're wearing the same liner from your morning coffee to your evening tea, it's time to rethink that habit. Your skin truly deserves better, and you will absolutely feel the difference when you prioritize your hygiene over mere convenience. So, who's ready to make this change? Type "change" in the comments below. Point number 4. Wearing synthetic underwear, the silent enemy of freshness. For many years, my underwear drawer was practically overflowing with those soft, stretchy synthetic panties you find in every department store. They were affordable, they didn't ride up, and they came in all sorts of cute colors and patterns. I genuinely thought I had cracked the code on comfort. That is, until I started noticing that no matter how often I showered or changed, I just felt damp and uncomfortable down there, even on cool days. Worse yet, there was a faint, persistent odor that seemed to cling to me, no matter how much body spray I used. I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. Was it my detergent? My diet? It wasn't until a visit to my trusted doctor that I finally got the answer. Synthetic underwear was the culprit. Here's why it's such an issue, especially as we get older. Fabrics like polyester or nylon might feel soft and look stylish, but they are terrible for breathability. They act like a little plastic bag, trapping heat and moisture right against your skin. And guess what thrives in a warm, moist environment? You guessed it, bacteria. This problem is especially pronounced if you're already dealing with light bladder leakage, or even the natural changes that come with aging, like postmenopausal dryness or sensitivity. That trapped moisture just compounds everything. My doctor's advice was simple, almost to the point of being revolutionary for me. Switch to cotton, Eleanor. Always cotton. I'll admit, I rolled my eyes a little. Cotton underwear. That sounded like something my grandmother would have worn, plain, boring, and definitely not cute. But I was desperate. So, I cleared out my drawer and invested in a stack of 100% cotton underwear, mostly in neutral colors. And the difference? It was immediate. Cotton is a natural fiber, wonderfully breathable. It absorbs moisture and allows air to circulate, which keeps everything dry and comfortable. No more sticky, damp feeling halfway through the day. My laundry even stopped smelling strange. And I felt a confidence I hadn't realized I'd lost. I even found cotton underwear in styles that were just as comfortable and flattering as my old synthetic ones. Proof, my dears, that you truly don't have to sacrifice style for function. If you're still holding on to those shiny, stretchy panties because they're familiar or affordable, do yourself a huge favor and make the switch. Your skin, your nose, and your confidence will absolutely thank you. Comfort without odor is always in style. So, if you're ready to make the switch, type cotton in the comments. Point number 5. Not drinking enough water, a dangerous strategy. For many years, I operated under a terribly misguided belief that drinking less water was a clever strategy to manage my daily routine. My logic was simple, almost embarrassingly so. If I consumed less water, I'd need fewer trips to the bathroom. This, I thought, would spare me the inconvenience and potential embarrassment of needing to go during outings, long car rides, or social gatherings. It seemed like such a practical solution, especially as I got older and started noticing occasional bladder sensitivity. Less water in, less urgency out, or so I confidently thought. In my mind, it was a foolproof plan to maintain control and avoid awkward situations. What I didn't understand at the time was that this approach was actually backfiring in ways I hadn't anticipated. By deliberately cutting back on water, I was unknowingly setting myself up for problems that went far beyond mere inconvenience. Dehydration doesn't just make you thirsty. It fundamentally changes how your body functions. One of the most surprising consequences was how it affected my hygiene, particularly the odor of my urine. When you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated. It turns a darker shade, sometimes a deep amber, and develops a pungent, sharp smell that's impossible to ignore. This isn't just a minor annoyance. It's your body sending a clear signal that it isn't getting the fluid it needs to flush out waste effectively. Worse still, concentrated urine doesn't just stay in your bladder. Even a small leak, whether from a moment of laughter, a cough, or just a weak moment, can leave a lingering odor that clings to your skin, your clothing, and even the furniture you sit on. I learned this the hard way. For a while, I chalked up the faint but persistent smell to simply aging. This is just what happens when you get older, I told myself, resigned to the idea that my body was betraying me. I felt incredibly self-conscious, constantly checking myself or avoiding close contact with others, worried they'd notice something off. The turning point came when I decided to experiment with drinking more water. Not huge amounts, just a steady habit of sipping a glass here and there throughout the day. The change was almost miraculous. Within days, I noticed my urine was lighter in color, almost clear, and that sharp, unpleasant odor began to fade. But the benefits didn't stop there. My skin, which had started to look dull and tired, seemed to regain a bit of its glow. I felt more energized, less sluggish. It was as if my body was truly thanking me for finally giving it what it needed. Drinking more water, I learned, does more than just quench thirst. It helps your kidneys filter out toxins, keeps your urinary system functioning smoothly, and prevents waste from building up in your body. It's like giving your insides a thorough rinse, flushing out impurities, and keeping everything running as it should. For those of us who worry about bladder leaks or frequent bathroom trips, the fear of accidents can make hydration feel like a risk. But I found that with a little planning, like using absorbent liners, scheduling bathroom breaks, or even practicing pelvic floor exercises, you can stay hydrated without sacrificing confidence. Denying your body water is like starving it of a basic necessity. It's not just about hygiene, it's about your overall health, your comfort, and feeling your absolute best. So, please, grab that extra glass of water. Your body will thank you in ways you never expected. If you're committing to drinking more water, type water in the comments. Point number 6. Sitting too long without washing up, when comfort becomes a problem. Let me be candid with you all. After I retired, my days took on a slower, much more sedentary rhythm. I'd spend hours lost in a good book, binge watching my favorite shows, or meticulously working through crossword puzzles in the morning paper. Some days, I'd stay in my cozy nightgown well past noon, just reveling in the comfort of not having anywhere to be. It felt like a well-earned luxury after years of rushing through life. But what I didn't realize was that this sedentary lifestyle was quietly creating an unexpected problem. One that affected not just my comfort, but my very sense of self. Here's what happens, from a doctor's perspective. When you sit for long periods, especially in warm, snug clothing or on padded chairs, you create a little microenvironment in your pelvic area. It's warm, it's humid, and frankly, it's less than ideal for hygiene. Sweat, natural skin oils, and even those minor bladder leaks can accumulate in that area. This is especially true if you're not moving around or freshening up regularly. Over time, this moisture and warmth become a thriving breeding ground for bacteria, leading to odors that no amount of body spray or perfume can fully mask. I didn't notice it at first. It's easy, isn't it, to grow accustomed to gradual changes in your own body? But the odor wasn't just a minor inconvenience. It was a subtle but persistent reminder that something wasn't quite right. The moment that truly changed everything for me came during a visit from my granddaughter, Lily. She climbed into my lap for a cuddle, as she often did, and with the unfiltered honesty of a child, she wrinkled her nose and said, "Grandma, you smell like something wet." My heart sank. Not because she meant to hurt my feelings, bless her heart, but because her innocent observation hit a nerve. She was right. I'd let myself slip into habits that were compromising my dignity, and it stung to realize it. That moment was a wake-up call, one that pushed me to rethink my daily routine. Now, I make a conscious effort to break up long periods of sitting. Even if it's just a short walk to the kitchen to refill my water glass, or a quick stretch in the living room, I get up every hour or so to keep things moving. More importantly, I've built in a midday hygiene routine. A quick wash with warm water and a soft, clean cloth takes just a minute, but let me tell you, it makes a world of difference. I also make it a point to change into fresh clothes daily, even if I haven't left the house. These small changes have truly restored my confidence and my sense of self-respect. It's not about chasing vanity or trying to impress anyone. It's about caring for yourself in a way that feels dignified. Your body deserves that kind of attention, no matter how cozy those long, lazy days might feel. So, if you're ready to adopt this midday refresh, type refresh in the comments below. Point number 7. Neglecting the laundry routine, the hidden hygiene of your clothes. Let's talk about something we don't often discuss openly: laundry. And I'm not talking about your sheets or towels. I'm talking about the intimate items, the underwear, the lounge pants, the nightgowns you slip into night after night because they're comfortable and, well, they don't look dirty. I'll admit, I used to be a little lax in this department. If a pair of pants or a nightgown didn't have visible stains or an obvious smell, I'd figure they were fine to wear again. Why add to the laundry pile unnecessarily? It seemed like a practical choice, especially on days when I wasn't doing much beyond puttering around the house. But as I've gotten older, I've noticed that my body and my clothes don't play by the same rules anymore. Even items that looked clean started to carry a faint, lingering odor after just a few hours of wear. It wasn't overpowering, but it was enough to make me self-conscious. I'd put on a fresh pair of pants, and by mid-morning, I'd catch a whiff of something that made me wonder, is that me, or is it the clothes? The answer, I learned, was often both. Here's the expert breakdown. Bacteria from sweat, those minor bladder leaks, and even your skin's natural oils can embed themselves deep in fabrics. This is especially true in tight or synthetic materials like polyester or spandex. These materials don't breathe as well as cotton, you see, so they trap moisture and odors right against your skin. The problem compounds if you're not washing these items thoroughly. Standard laundry cycles, especially with cold water or mild detergents, might not fully eliminate all those bacteria or odors. Over time, even clothes you consider clean can develop a musty smell that clings to you throughout the day, completely undermining that wonderful fresh feeling you get after a shower. I used to wonder why I didn't feel as clean as I expected, despite my best efforts. It wasn't until I completely overhauled my laundry routine that I realized how much my clothes were actually working against me. Now, I'm meticulous about my laundry habits. I wash my underwear, lounge pants, and nightgowns separately, and I use hot water. And here's a little secret. I add a splash of white vinegar to the cycle to really neutralize odors and kill bacteria. I make sure everything is fully dried, because damp clothes are a recipe for mustiness, and I never ever re-wear these intimate items without washing them first, no matter how clean they appear. It's a bit more work, yes, but the payoff is immense. There's a quiet confidence that comes with knowing you smell truly fresh, that your clothes are genuinely clean, and that you're presenting your best self to the world. It's not just about hygiene. It's about reclaiming control over how you feel in your own skin. Trust me, a little extra effort in the laundry room can make all the difference. So, if you've learned something unexpected about your laundry today, comment, "Wow," below. So now, as we wrap up, I have one important question for you, a truly personal one. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will switch to cotton underwear, or perhaps, I will remember to drink more water throughout the day. Maybe it's, I will change my liners every few hours, or I'll start that midday refresh routine. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to take that first, empowering step. It makes such a difference when we know we're not alone on this path. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together today, if this video resonated with you, show your support by giving it a hearty thumbs up. That simple click helps us reach more women who need to hear these messages. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of life-changing wisdom for your golden years, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community dedicated to living our best lives, together, with confidence and grace. Finally, please think of one person, a friend, a sister, or a loved one, who truly needs to hear this message today, and share it with them. You might just make a huge difference in their daily comfort and confidence. Thank you for watching, my dears. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in our next video.